I wanted to give you a little information on drawing this object here, the offset flange, since there's not a tutorial video that comes along with the textbook. This one being a metric drawing uh, is a little bit different than what you've been drawing so far, in that we're drawing in millimeters. Okay, the line type patterns are in millimeters. Okay, um, if if you look at the layout here in paper space, uh, it, it I don't want to confuse you with it being a metric drawing, but it is, the part is in millimeters, and our piece of paper here is still a letter size 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So the scale is it's a little weird from what you're used to in dealing with a metric drawing. Now, if you don't know what scale your drawing is set at, if you click on, this is called the viewport, and with most of these templates, it's the kind of a, geez, I don't know, orange color, okay? But if you click it once to select it and look right down here in the bottom corner of your screen, you'll see the viewport is locked, and that's fine. And the scale, it being a metric drawing on an English paper, is set at 1 to 50, okay? It's kind of weird. It's a lot different than what you're used to with an English drawing or a scale of 1 to 1 or 1 to 2. Now, should you have to change that, and I don't think the book has addressed that yet, should you have to change it, you just want to click the viewport once, and you can unlock the viewport and then come here and select your scale. Now, if you zoom the mouse wheel, it's going to zoom the scale of the viewport, and you don't want to just use zoom on it to do that. You want to use a scale that's already preset. Okay, but and I think in most cases the drawings that I've worked through, um, the scale is fine. Okay, the way they have it set. But should you need to know the scale in order to fill out the title bar, that's how you check your scale. Okay, now let's come back over here in the model space. I just want to hit some highlights on this one. I gave you the starting points because in this one we're only doing two views, so the miter line here doesn't do us any good. Okay, so you don't need the miter box turned on. Okay, I gave you the starting points for the center of the small circle here in the lower left corner of the right view. Okay, those should line up horizontally across there. Okay, everything should line up orthographically. You can, for these circles, if you draw one of them, okay, you can use a polar array to come across with it. And instead of a full 360 degrees, you're only going to use 180 degrees, okay? The center lines, and I made a little copy up here. Uh, you you can uh, you can draw your center lines and then use a polar array to copy them also. Um, and I'll show you a kind of a quick and easy way. Oh, change my object snaps. Let me turn back on center and quadrants. Okay. So I'll draw a line just through the circle there. And here's a command for you. If you're doing a lot of lengthening, it helps as opposed to just clicking and dragging. But on the keyboard, type LEN for lengthen, hit enter, and then press DE for delta, and press enter. And we want to extend these lines. We're going to go 6 millimeters outside of the object. I think I was doing 6. I'll check that. And then you click on one end of the line, and it will lengthen it whatever distance you said. Yeah, 6 millimeters. Normally we go like a quarter of an inch outside of an object with a center line. Okay. Um, Now, if you notice my line type scale, this thing is so short, the line type scale is not picking it up. The book kind of in the sketch kind of shows these lines continuing on down. It gets a little crowded when you bring them all the way down to the middle. So what we can do with this one is we can select it and we can go to properties. Oh, okay, I got it docked over here. Wait a minute. All right, let me get my properties. Let me just leave it open. And we may have to play with our line type scale to get the dash to show up. So let me select one of these that I've already got. That's that one. How come that didn't pick up? That's kind of weird. Maybe it's because I've already set my global line type scale. The book said 15. I did 12. 15 probably worked. But that one is just not picking it up. It's befuddling me. Anyway, let me continue with this right here. So you can draw one of these and then you can do a polar array around to get the rest of them in. Um, to, I think for this class, to get the circular pattern, we'll just be on the center layer. Let me turn off ortho here. And we'll just go with a circular center line. It's not going to match up um, exactly as it shows in the book. Be, Technically, center lines, even with the center line patterns, we should have, you know, a little cross at the center of the circle. And if you just draw a circle here, that's not going to happen. So technically, the correct way to do it is I would draw an arc here. See, there's one arc, and do polar array around for it. And then these are additional arcs in between those. Okay, and I just kind of had to play with the length and the angle on those to get my pattern to show up right. Um, the hidden line here at the bottom, best way to deal with this is you draw a circle here on your visible layer, and then you trim it back to the edge so that nothing is showing, and then draw another circle of the same radius on the hidden layer, and then trim it, or use a break. Either one of those works fine. Okay. Over here, you've got the counter bore, which are those lines. I'm just going to show you the top corner of it here. This is that counter bore uh, that's shown in the sketch, a diameter of 50. And the book hasn't covered holes and screws yet very much. Uh, but the first number in a counter bore note is going to be the diameter of the small hole, which would be the diameter from here to here. Okay, 50 millimeters. And then the next diameter, it gives you that kind of a U-shaped symbol. That means counter bore. Gives you a diameter of 75. Well, that is this portion here, which is the physical counter bore. Okay, so that has a diameter of 75. And then there's the depth of 6.4, which is this distance right across here. Okay, so when you draw that, you're, let me just select all the lines for it here. You're going to have those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, and that's your counter bore hole. Okay, and you notice how they intersect here. Okay, now don't get confused because these two lines right here, these are these two are the hidden lines for this hole right here that project over. Okay, It gets a little confusing projecting hidden lines when they're in a circular pattern. But if you use a construction line, and let's say you can do them on the zero layer and then delete them or turn it off, whatever. But if you remember the construction line command, XL, and then go horizontal, you can come right here and you can click a series of construction lines that will project over. And then you can either trim them out and change the layers, or you can just draw the hidden line right on top of that. And then you can delete construction lines, or you can turn a construction layer off if you have a construction layer. But I think that covers pretty much everything that you'll need to get this one done. Um, yeah, and if you got questions or you got problems, then shoot me an email, or come see me in the lab when you're here for open lab time.